So in case you didn't get a chance to read this, behind me it said, medicine is the study of disease and what causes man to die, while chiropractic is the study of life and what causes man to live. So we choose to look at what promotes health in your life, what promotes health in your body. Today we're going to talk about, we're getting a lot of questions about how we boost immune system function. You're always talking about immune system function. What specifically do you do that boosts up your immune system, and how does that affect our health and fighting off sickness, illness, and disease? We're not going to talk about numbers today as far as coronavirus updates. We'll do that in another video later on, give you some updates on Florida and maybe what's happening in the country. So one of the things we have to understand when it comes to our bodies and how our body stays well and how we stay healthy. Number one, your first line of defense is your immune system. Every day your body's fighting off all kinds of germs, infections, illness, diseases, cancer, germs, bacteria, viruses, and things of that nature. So you want to make sure that your body stays as strong as possible. What you need to do is make sure that when you come in contact with any type of foreign invader, any type of germ, virus, bacteria, whatever it may be, that your body is able to recognize it and fight it off, kill it off, and you don't get sick from it. So we're hearing a lot about, like with the coronavirus, every day we have people that we see, every day, we have patients that come in, they tell us all kinds of different things. I saw online where, it can, if somebody coughs, it can go 27 feet, or it can stay 17 days alive on a surface, or there's 4 different strains of coronavirus floating around out there. You can breathe it in through the air if somebody, there's all these things that are people are saying and just promoting fear and pandemonium that again, this virus, like other viruses, there are other viruses that we come in contact with on a regular basis. There are flu virus. The flu virus every year kills 500,000 people, 500,000 to 600,000 people worldwide. But again, we're not afraid of the flu virus like we are with the coronavirus, and it kills many more people than what this has killed and what's probably end up going to kill. So the thing is, we have to, it's a one thing to be concerned, but we also have to understand how we fight these things off. What is your first line of defense? There's that Mission Impossible movie I saw with Tom Cruise, one of the first Mission Impossible movies that he was in, and they had this girl, the bad guys injected her with this virus, and she was walking around like a zombie. You could see, that she was going to infect the whole world, and the whole world was going to die from this virus. But the bad guys had this anti-vaccine medication that only they had, and they were going to sell it to the world for, whatever, billions of dollars, whatever they were asking. And, in the meantime, this girl's walking around, just by her being out in public, she's infecting the world. And it doesn't happen like that. These viruses, they don't spread like that. It doesn't happen that way. I got 2 words for you: Hollywood. That it just doesn't happen that way. Again, you have direct contact, somebody coughs or sneezes, the droplets contact the surface or your body, maybe somebody coughs or sneezes on you. I was in Ace Hardware the other day, and I'm walking through there looking for something, and one of the workers there, employees, he sneezed, and everybody jumped and turned around. It was like like everybody scattered, like somebody pulled a pin on a grenade, grenade, it's like, so, but the guy just sneezed, it's like, we're around people that sneeze all the time. We're around people that cough all the time. So my question is, the next time that we get a coronavirus outbreak or a coronavirus epidemic or a coronavirus pandemic, what are we going to do? Are we going to lock everything down again? Are we going to close businesses up again? Are we going to go into hiding again? Are we going to quarantine again? What if it's 2 months from now? What if it's 3 months from now after this is over? What if it's 6 months from now? What if a year later something else happens, another coronavirus? Are we going to keep doing the same thing over and over again? And how do we address what we're going to do in the future and what our outcome is going to be in the future? To me, the human race, our bodies are getting weaker and weaker and weaker. We're not getting stronger and stronger and stronger. We're becoming more and more and more chemically dependent. Our immune systems are getting weaker. Our bodies are getting weaker. We're still seeing infections, cancer, illness, diseases. We're still seeing 1 million people a year in the United States die from heart disease. Heart disease is still the #1 killer. So roughly 1 million people a year are dying from heart disease. But we're still eating the same way. We're still sitting in front of our computers and TVs. We're still doing the same lifestyle things that may bring on that type of illness or some type of heart disease. So even though 1 million people a year are dying in the United States from heart disease, we're still kind of doing the same things we've always been doing. And we wait until we're diagnosed with high blood pressure or some type of heart disease, or we have a heart attack and we get that wake-up call, then we change our lifestyle. So we're very reactive as a country. We're not very proactive. And that's why we talk so much in here about your immune system and boosting your immune system and how that allows you to be more proactive, preventing you from getting sick or from getting an illness or a disease. So let's talk a little bit about our body and how our body works and exactly how our immune system may address certain concerns that we have. So you have in our body what we call homeostasis or balance. We want to maintain that balance in your body, that homeostasis. So if you eat a good diet, you get the right amount of sleep, you manage your stress, maybe you get some exercise, then chances are you're going to have a healthier lifestyle. Now, there's always those exceptions, because I hear it all the time. People come and say, oh, that person, they were a vegetarian, they did this and that, and they got cancer, they died. Yeah, there's an exception. But as far as the large percentages, like smoking, the percentages say that if you smoke, there's a high percentage you're going to get lung cancer or COPD or some type of lung illness from smoking. Now there's that grandma that's 100 years old that smokes a cigar every day, a pack of cigarettes a day, and drinks a fifth of gin every day, and that's her answer to living to be 100 years old. That's the exception. So there are exceptions out there, but we're talking about the masses in general, the large percentages in general, as far as how the average person responds to these things. So you have this balance in life, and we want to try to maintain that balance in your life the best that we possibly can. And your body is controlled and coordinated. Every activity in your body is controlled and coordinated by your brain. Your brain sends signals to every single part of your body through your nervous system. So off of your brain is a long tail or a long extension called your spinal cord. Off of your spinal cord, you have nerves that branch off on each side of your spine that go to all the different body parts. So your brain is in constant communication with every single part of your body, and every single part of your body is in communication with your brain. There's a loop, a two-way line of communication from your brain to your body parts, from body parts back to your brain. And this is one of the ways that your brain can maintain overall function and wellness of your body. Now, if a foreign invader comes into a particular area of your body, your brain is programmed to go ahead and attack that foreign invader the best that it possibly can through your immune system, through what we've talked about in the past in the last few videos on how your immune system works. So what we do in chiropractic care, we know that because your immune system is controlled and has a direct line of communication with your nervous system is telling, kind of conducting, like the symphony conductor conducting this symphony. Your nervous system has to function at the most efficient capacity that it can. So what we do in chiropractic, we look for what we call subluxations in your spine. What that means is that the vertebral column, the different vertebral bones in your spine, are there to house and protect the nervous system and the nerves that are exiting on each side of your spinal cord. So if one of those bones or one of those vertebrae gets out of alignment or gets fixated or locked or stuck, that's what we call a subluxation. It's not a dislocation where it's out of joint and you need to go to the hospital. It's a subluxation, maybe a small misalignment that's irritating a nerve, maybe a fixation where things are locked up and not moving and working properly, promoting inflammation, irritation to the nerve, congestion of fluid in that area, decreased circulation of the blood vessels in that area, and swelling or irritation, inflammation of the soft tissues in that area. That may lead to decreased function of the nerves, which would lead to decreased function of the organs or body parts that those nerves control. So just like your immune system, if your immune system is going to function at its optimum capacity, we want to make sure that your spine is functioning at its optimum capacity, so in turn your nervous system functions at its optimum capacity. So these little subluxations in your spine can disrupt the flow of the nervous system and nerve activity, nerve transmission, nerve signals. Think of it like a garden hose. If you have a garden hose and you're watering flowers or plants, and somebody walks up behind you and kinks the garden hose, the water isn't going to get through to the flowers. Eventually the flowers are going to die. They don't die right away. They may wilt, they may turn brown, but eventually they're going to die because they're not getting the life that they need through the water, through the hose. Once the hose is unkinked, then the water flows again. Well, it's very similar to your nervous system. A little more complicated than that, but that's a very basic analogy that we can use to kind of show you how the nerves come off of the spinal cord and how the nerves flow to the different body parts. So when you have a subluxation or a misalignment or a fixation in your spine, it interferes with that nerve flow, that nerve transmission. So that may affect the transmission of signals to your nervous system that controls immune system, digestive system, endocrine system, reproductive system, musculoskeletal system, many other systems in your body. So what we do is we examine your spine, look for any of these misalignments that you may have or fixations in your spine. Once we find these subluxations in your spine, we do chiropractic adjustments to restore function of the spine, remove nerve interference, stand back, let your body heal itself the way that it was designed to work. So what we do is not a treatment for coronavirus. It's not a treatment for any sickness, for any illness or disease. What we want to do is just restore proper balance to the body. We call it turning on that inner doctor. We turn on your inner doctor, stand back, let your body start healing itself the way that it was designed to function. So along with the chiropractic care, we always recommend, of course, getting exercise, reducing stress, eating properly. I'm a big fan of promoting greens and fruits and vegetables, but the super greens, spinach, kale, broccoli, these are the super greens that are very important, that are loaded with the nutrients that your body needs. There are what we call phytochemicals, plant-based chemicals in fruits and vegetables that you can't get anywhere else. You can pop a pill or a supplement, but those phytochemicals, when they come directly from the plant, the way that God put the plants together and the fruits and the vegetables, there's no substitute for what those phytochemicals can do for your body. So eat those right foods, and then of course avoiding the sugar, the flour, the processed foods, and then we all know about the other things, alcohol, caffeine, nicotine, that can bring down immune system function. But we've had some questions specifically on how specifically does chiropractic care boost immune system function. And I posted on our page, on our webpage, on Dr. Drew Chiro Life, on our Facebook page, that there's a study, a review of the literature, different literature and different studies that have been done to show how chiropractic promotes boosting immune system function. So that's one of the most important things that you can do, especially in this time when we're addressing this. So again, I answer the question, what are we going to do 6 months from now if this happens again? A year from now if this happens again? You know, there are several strains of coronavirus that they're going to keep coming out and maybe manipulating different strains in laboratories. Who knows what's happening there? And then releasing different strains. We have to be prepared. Our first line of defense is our human body, our immune system. So boost up those immune systems, get your immune system strong. I don't care if you're a newborn baby, if you're a 90-year-old senior citizen. People, you know, say, oh, I'm 80 years old, I have a weak immune system. Doesn't automatically mean you have a weak immune system just because you're 80 years old. It just means you're not absorbing the nutrients like you used to. Maybe you're not eating the right kind of diet, so your immune system sure maybe dropped off. Maybe you have some underlying health issues besides not having a strong immune system that may put you at risk for getting sick. I always tell people, how long has it been since you had the flu? And people say, I haven't had the flu in years. Well, how long has it been since you've had a cold? I had a cold like a year ago. Okay, well then you have a good immune system. If you had a cold a year ago and you haven't had the flu in years, you have a good immune system. Because if you didn't have a good immune system, you would have gotten, 2, 3, 4 colds this past year. You would have probably gotten the flu because, again, during flu season, remember, 36 million people this year have gotten the flu virus. And just like this coronavirus, flu viruses, there are several different strains of flu virus. Just getting the flu shot, where they can maybe put 4 strains of flu virus in that flu shot, is not going to guarantee you're not going to get the flu. In most cases, you're not going to get the flu because you have a good immune system. So keep that immune system strong. I can remember having, a cold or the flu as a kid, 8, 9, 10 years old as a kid. And, we didn't run to the doctors. We didn't, my parents wouldn't spend money for us to go to the doctor. So, my mom made some chicken noodle soup and you got in your bed, you put your hoodie, sweatshirt on, your sweatpants, you got in bed under the covers, you sweated out, and, your fever broke, and, you ate the chicken noodle soup, and your body fought it off. Your body fought it off the way that it's designed to. So we see kids in here all the time, just to kind of talk about a little bit about what the chiropractic care does. We see children in here. Our moms bring the children in. Oh, Joey's got a 102-degree fever. Oh, bring him in. We'll check them out and get them adjusted. They bring the children in. Joey's on the table. We do a chiropractic adjustment. Fever breaks. Joey's fine. His body kills off that virus however it needs to kill it off. In most cases, that fever breaks before they're even off the table. So we see it happen. Again, we've been doing this almost 30 years now. We see it happen time and time and time and time again, that children, young adults, teenagers, elderly, all ages respond through chiropractic adjustments, boosting that immune system. So be safe, obey your county and city and government, state government guidelines, and stay apart, stay separated. Do what we have to do to slow this thing down, spreading down. I know you're all concerned, but again, just remember, there's a lot of hype out there in the media. A lot of hype. I keep telling people the best thing that could possibly happen is that you get exposed to a little bit of this thing, a little bit of this coronavirus, and your body builds antibodies, what we call acquired immunity. So you're naturally acquiring that immunity. You don't have to wait till there's a vaccine to artificially get that immunity. Your body acquires that immunity, builds antibodies, and you don't have any issues, you don't have any problems. When they say 25% of the people that get the coronavirus are walking around, don't even know that they have it, don't even have symptoms. Well, they're the people that their immune system is attacking it, their immune system's got it under control, and they're building antibodies for it. So if they come out with an antibody test, you can see there will be probably 5 times as many people that will show antibodies for this coronavirus than there are people who have tested positive, because the majority of people are going to get exposed to it, build the antibodies, not see any symptoms and not have any problems. It's the minority that you're going to see that's going to be tested positive with the symptom. It's just like the flu. 36 million people in our country got the flu this year, but pretty much everybody was probably exposed to it. Everybody gets exposed to the flu if you're out in public during flu season. So everybody gets exposed to the flu, but not everybody gets the flu. So 330 million people in our country, our population, 36 million of those getting the flu. How come everybody doesn't get the flu? They vaccinated like 170 million people this year in our country, but not everybody gets the flu, not everybody gets vaccinated, not everybody gets sick. So I can line up 10 people in a room. If I have a virus, the flu, say, I could line up 10, or even the coronavirus, I can line up 10 people in a room, and I can cough and sneeze on all 10 of them, and all 10 of them aren't going to get sick. Maybe one of them gets sick, maybe 3 of them, maybe 5 of them, maybe 6 of them, but not everybody's going to get sick. The ones with the weaker immune system are the ones that are going to get sick and then show those symptoms. So the bottom line is your first defense is your body's immune system with anything, when it comes to any type of virus, bacteria, illness, cancer, whatever it may be. So be proactive, get that immune system boosted up. If you're not under chiropractic care, find a chiropractic care, find a chiropractor wherever you live, get under chiropractic care, call us, contact us. We'll get you the name of a chiropractor in your area if you're not in our area. But get under chiropractic care, one of the best things you can do for boosting immune system function. In the meantime, stay healthy, keep eating right, keep drinking lots of fluid, drink your water and eat those fruits and veggies, and get outside and exercise. I see so many things on social media like, people stay indoors, you're stupid, what are you doing, you're crazy. You can't go outside and breathe the air and get sick from this virus, okay? That's nonsense. So the best thing that you can do is get outside, get some fresh air, get some sunlight, some vitamin D, some fresh air. It'll boost up that immune system function, keep you healthy. Doesn't mean you have to rub elbows with somebody, but just get outside in your yard or backyard or whatever you may be, and you'll feel much better about yourself. You're going to go crazy sitting inside, staring at the walls, and maybe start feeling a little depressed. So we don't want that to happen. Okay? All right, you guys be safe, and we'll see you next time.